on Eskadania. Hello, everyone. My name is Abdelkhaliq. I am the moderator and the facilitator for this amazing session with amazing competencies for ladies working in the high-tech industry and high-tech field. Without any further ado, I would like to present the ladies first. Ms. Majda Kassi, Head of Networks Solution, Ericsson, Middle East and Africa. Ms. Majda Lahlou Kassi comes from vast experience in networking and networking solutions, digital services, and connected to team building and human services. So there's a lot to learn from Majda, and we're curious to hear about the 5G and all these 5G projects and implementations that is going on. I'd like to introduce as well Dr. Reema Abbasi, Director, Hyatt Institute of Technological Studies in Communications of Tunisia. Just a note that every time we mention Tunisia, we get curious about the status of women in general and the status of women in technology in this vibrant sector. And I'm sure we can hear a lot from Reema, who has been defined as the cybersecurity expert in year 2021, as well a key specialist in Africa as well as the Middle East. I'd like to welcome also Ms. Reema Diab, founder and CEO of Galaxy Organization. Reema is following us from Jordan and stationed in Jordan, and she has been recognized as the futuristic. And by futuristic, I understood that she looks at artificial intelligence, jobs for the future, in Internet of Things, blockchain in general, women in blockchain, and how education fits into that. And she'll tell us a lot more about that. And I would like to welcome Dr. Huda El Hazi, CEO, Women in AI, the UAE chapter. Dr. Hoda, since she will be called elsewhere, she will join us ASAP to start with her. Is Hoda here with us? Dr. Hoda, are you with us? No? Okay. Ms. Majda, I would like to start with you shedding a light on all this network solution thing in 5G and so on. But before that, I always said in this difficult stage that we are going through, that we cannot start with anything before without recognizing the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is the corona and the post-corona effects on us as an economy in general, and on the ICT sector, and on the movement of technology versus human resources. So if Jawad can help us with the video, just to hear what is the prediction for the next coming year, we hope. Jawad, would you please the video?
يتوقع مسح الإسكو الجديد للتطورات الاقتصادية والاجتماعية في المنطقة العربية استمرار التعافي الاقتصادي خلال عامين 2022 و 2023 مع ارتفاع الناتج المحلي الإجمالي بنسبة 3.7% في 2022 و 3.6% في عام 2023 قياساً بالسيناريو المحافظ، وقد تصل النسبة إلى 3.9% بحسب السيناريو المتفائل. تترافق هذه التوقعات مع بعض المخاطر المرتبطة ببطء حملة التطعيم والمخاوف من موجة جديدة من جائحة كوفيد-19، ما قد يخفض معدلات النمو في المنطقة إلى 2.4% في عام 2022 و 3.2% في عام 2023. من الناحية الاجتماعية، يتوقع أن ينخفض معدل الفقر قليلاً في المنطقة العربية من 27% في عام 2021 إلى نحو 26% في عام 2023، ومعدل البطالة من 11.1% في عام 2022 إلى 10.7% في عام 2023. كما يعرض المسح تحليلاً للنظم الضريبية في المنطقة العربية، ويقترح توصيات لإصلاحها، أبرزها زيادة الكفاءة الضريبية وتطوير آلية تعاون إقليمي لمكافحة التهرب الضريبي.
Thank you. I would like to recognize Dr. Haidar Frihat from the ESQA, who always brings to our attention the latest ESQA reports and researches and statistics. I have problem with statistics here, so it's good to give to have some indications. And I wanted to start with positive note post-corona, as we've been warned by the organizers not to dig into much of the technical details, but focus on a TikTok and from a business perspective. So starting with the business perspective, Majda, Lahlou, would you please start your 10 minutes? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Doha, for having me. It's a great pleasure to be here and to discuss a very important point about the contribution of mobile broadband and connectivity in general to the business environment. In fact, we come to the realization that affordable and efficient broadband infrastructure is a fundamental component of the digitalization of all business sectors. And it has become as important as clean water or electricity in building a sustainable society. And we've just talked about the pandemic, and I think during the pandemic, we've got to learn the importance of such connectivity in delivering some essential services to citizens, whether it's on the business level or on the governmental level. Connectivity has played an extremely important role. And in my opinion, the pandemic has also reset our expectations on the pace of innovation. So with many kids that had to move from attending school to online learning, many of us, including myself, continue to work from home and for a very prolonged time. And we had also to rethink a bit about how we purchase some essential goods. All of this has put a tremendous pressure on all the communication service providers to upgrade their networks and make sure that it's scalable to the level that it copes with all this data traffic that was not expected, and it happened almost overnight with the pandemic. The second, I think in my opinion, the second important trend that comes out of the pandemic, since we started with it in this session, is that now we see that millions of people are very comfortable with communication tools as the way to collaborate, work together, or even learn. And this has allowed us to see speed in the way cyber and physical worlds are merging to create a new reality and new business cases for many businesses. So the recognition of the importance of the mobile broadband infrastructure is of critical importance also because we're entering to this new era where we see multiple transformative technologies. And I think in the session today, we'll be talking about many of them: Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, cloud services, because the mobile broadband is at the center and one of the key enablers for many of these technologies. Now, what does this mean for businesses? Well, we see that there is a huge development in the technologies that are seeking to connect objects for various reasons. It could be from a simple controlling and monitoring of household appliances. We all have many at home that we would like to control remotely with our mobile handset, to a very large infrastructure like the smart grids. At the same time, I think the combination of Internet of Things together with other technologies that are coming from this conversion of cyber and physical realities is leading us towards Industry 4.0 and Industry 5.0. So all of this is highlighting the importance of mobile broadband in terms of performance. And specifically for enterprises that are embarking on the digital transformation era, we believe they are still faced with many challenges. And this is, of course, very important to all women entrepreneurs as well, to understand that when they look at their business model, they need to think connectivity also as a very important element in their business model, because connectivity today is not only about communication, it's about the way you reach to your consumers, it's about your supply chain, and very important to think right from the beginning about how you build a solid foundation for this business model. Some of the challenges that we see enterprises facing today are the fact that they might have many communication channels. The total cost of ownership is still high. They could be facing also some performance challenges in terms of data speed, latency for some use cases. And this is where 5G comes into play, because it's one platform that is helping entrepreneurs and big businesses to respond to all of these needs in common capabilities. So you don't need to have your fiber, your mobile connection. You have one infrastructure that is helping you to achieve all these needs. And moving forward, we believe that 5G will be the main digital infrastructure for consumers and also for businesses. According to the latest mobility report from Ericsson, we forecast to have about 4.4 billion 5G subscriptions at the horizon of 2027. Here in the region, in Middle East and Africa, 4G will continue to be the main connectivity enabler for businesses, but we also see 5G picking up at a speed that is going beyond what we have seen with other technologies. And we already have many of the countries in the MENA regions that are at the forefront of 5G deployments. They are even going beyond what is happening in Europe or even in North America. I can mention few. I mean, Saudi, UAE, Oman, Qatar. Here in North Africa, we're trialing many 5G on a smaller scale with the operators, the telecom operators. So 5G is a reality that is happening today, and it's already supporting many businesses to rethink their business model and to unleash the full potential of what other innovations are enabling, such as IoT, for example, in many different applications. Now, if you allow me, I would like to share with you one of the success stories from Ericsson. That is showcasing how 5G can enable an industry like manufacturing. So actually, Ericsson has opened its first smart factory last year in Texas, US. The smart factory has been recognized by World Economic Forum as one of the 7 global lighthouse 4.0. And this factory is actually a showcase of all the capabilities of 5G. So there were many use cases that were demonstrated. But what we wanted to showcase in this is that 5G is a key enabler for many other technologies. So it's the platform for innovation that you can put on top of it many other things. And from this specific factory, we could achieve what we call the triple bottom line impact. What we call triple bottom line impact are 3 things. So we have a positive impact on the profitability, because we managed to improve the productivity at a large scale by limiting the manual handling of goods, by anticipating the downtime in the factory and taking corrective actions. We have also managed to have an impact on the planet, knowing that the whole factory is 100% powered by renewable energy. And thanks to the old technologies that were implemented, we're able to reduce the consumption, the energy consumption by 24%. And then we have a third impact, which is on the people. An important factor here, because all the teams that are engaged in the factory are actually acquiring new digital skills. So we're limiting the manual handling part, but we are lifting up the skills to help them, reach to the next level of digital awareness. At the same time, it offers them a very safe environment for work. This is just an example on how we could apply 5G in the context of manufacturing. The beauty of 5G compared to other technologies that we had before is that the same use cases can be scaled up and replicated across other industries. So we see the same type of use in industries like education, healthcare, in the car industry, in the media industry. So all of this is actually creating the right platform for all the other components to come in and bring all the innovation at the service of the people. Now, I want to move to another very important aspect of technology, if you allow me, Dr. Doha, is how connectivity can help women empowerment. And I have been myself in this industry for more than 20 years, and I have traveled a lot across the region. And I can just say that the simple fact of putting a mobile handset in the hands of women, it opens limitless opportunities to learn, to express themselves, to create small or big businesses. So really the connectivity combined with the devices is opening doors for many opportunities for women. But here I want to shed the light on two specific areas, if you allow. One is on the educational parts. And we all understand that there is still a big gender gap in terms of the technology kind of studies. And it's a very early age. I mean, girls at a very early age are less likely to choose technology as a career. And here I want to share the example of an initiative that I had the pleasure to participate in its deployment in Tunisia, which is the Connect to Learn initiative launched by Ericsson.
Thank you, Majda. We'll keep this success story to later for the sake of the 10 minutes each panelist. But I mean, you mentioned network, speed, performance, enhancement, acceleration. I mean, I need no convincing about the 5G. It's all set. It's the future. It's the platform where everything will build on it at the end of the day. Just by the way, just to put the speed into perspective, it says that for a movie that takes 2 hours at 8 gigabytes, it can be downloaded with 3 seconds. 3 seconds.
Absolutely.
So it's certainly happy time for youngs and digital industry and the entertainment industry and the financial industry and you name it. So it's all about networks and strong technology. Thank you, Majda. Thank you very much. I would like to start with a presumptuous question, if I may, Jawad, and just to see what we think about certain topics and issues. Do you think we have enough women in technology in the Arab world in general? Yes. No, not sure. I'm not interested. Okay. Okay, many people are interested, but they think that there is not enough women in technology in the Arab world. Okay. All right. I'd like to present Dr. Reema Abbasi, Director, Higher Institute of Technological Studies and Communication of Tunisia. As I have described Reema being the cybersecurity expert for year 2021. So please, Reema, share with us this experience.
Thank you, Dr. Doha. I have some slides, so I will just share them.
Sorry, Dr. Doha, to interrupt you. I thought that I was going first because
Huda. We were hoping that you would start the first session with us since you have been.
Yeah, I was here, just waiting.
We can switch, Dr. Doha, no problem.
Can we do that? Yeah. Okay, Dr. Huda, we appreciate your busy schedule, so please, you may start. Thank you.
I do apologize from the rest of the panel. I just have a follow-up panel after this.
Not at all.
Okay, so I would like to share my slides quickly on here. So I hope that you can see it.
Yes.
So how can we accelerate digital transformation to boost growth across all sectors? And what do we mean when we say digital economy? Because today, when we are concerned about digital economy, it's all of this Bitcoins, 5Gs, NFTs, and the rest of the fintech world that comes into play to empower our economic growth. And economic growth cannot be quantified easily. And if I asked you about the tendencies of government and tendencies of choose between digital transformations prior to COVID and after COVID. After COVID, there has been a massive switch towards this. And we have seen a great preference into this kind of walk into digital transformation. And when I will ask the audience among the panel, how much data do you contribute to? There is a 2.5 quintillion bytes being produced by user around the data. And can you imagine what can we do if we taught users at grassroots level the power of using this data, monetizing it to generate new streams of jobs, a new stream of incomes across board. And this is what a digital economy is doing to us. It's what, thank you, Ustada Majda, for talking about the 5G, the cloud, the IoT, artificial intelligence, and all of this big support infrastructure that is being given to the new generation as new means of building new economies, building new skills, so they can tackle accessing wealth and accessing investments, even if they are in a remote villages across the world. So this is the ecosystem that exists around us for digital economy. It has been said that digital economy share to GDP would range from 2 to 9% across selected economies every year. China have invested to make sure that by 2025, they will be rising to 5% contribution to their current GDP. And digitally dependent economy ranges from 17 to 35% of the GDP per each of this economy. And when you look at the contribution to the fintech today, last year in 2021, you could see that the largest M&A of the year has been in fintech industry, which was around 29 billion investments. And in terms of the IPOs, one of the largest IPOs as well, transactional volumes has been around 29 billion in this. So there is a growth in terms of necessity, and there is a growth in terms of contributions to economy. I think all of us have seen the contribution of cryptocurrencies to the economy that has been happening in the past. It has been estimated for it to grow into 500 trillion estimation of growth of global economies. However, there is a huge hesitance globally to adapting to cryptocurrencies, and that's because of the lack of regulation and adaptation by central authorities due to the high risk investments that they manifest into. And this is very clear. We have seen it. We have seen it in the crash that happened 3 days ago, I think, and that costed easily $1 trillion of investment to be wiped out, which is not easy to stomach. So it's, again, if you want to do this kind of investment in digital economies, it's high risk, high returns. Web3s and metaverses, and the question of who creates them, are we creating them for good? What are kind of challenges that exist on the table for us currently to take the narratives of the metaverse beyond the current scenarios that we have is something that we have seen. And this is just a little bit of visualization for all of us to know how data could contribute to the existence of all of us as global citizens. There are only half of the population connected to the internet, and only half of the population contributing to generating all of the data that has been manifested prior to that. And this is why there is a huge power at the moment into making sure we can bring on board with us the other half of the population to manifest the great opportunities that would exist in the digital economies. I'm not going to go through the rest of the slides. We can go through them in a different occasion. I just wanted to tell you what have you done through the pandemic. Few people and scientists across board, even when they were cocooned, they brought in innovation into the structure because technology enabled this innovation. We've seen quantum physicists contributing to building the first at-home quantum computing device. I've seen another agricultural engineer producing the new ecosystem fertilizers in his garden using a sensor network. We've seen as well a group of people getting together to use the largest oceanic data that exists in the world and to present them on the screen in a different visualization form. And also one of the largest satellite studies happened around the world. These are consumer markets that would exist on different levels. Today, digital economy, AI economy is a huge contributor to SDGs. They contribute as an enabler to over 135 SDGs platform, SDGs targets, which is over 79%. And they are inhibitors or challenges. They constituted challenges to around 59% of these targets and challenges. So the ball is on our court as a developer to develop mindful technologies and rethink the parameter of impact that we create, because it's not anymore one sector, but it's a cross-sector kind of holistic view that we have to look at. It's the policies, the infrastructure, the models that we have to build in order to bring in value across board. Thank you so much for your attention. I would have to drop off, unfortunately, for my next meeting. Thank you. I'm sorry,
Sure,
Dr. Doha, unfortunately.
Can you help us with your, you are a specialist in women in AI, UAE chapter. What does that mean, Huda, Dr. Huda?
Women in AI is a global community that has been stated to make sure that we set the narrative straight when there is a global study that said only 20-30% of women are contributing to the AI economy. And we wanted to improve this number. And today we proved that we have over 8,000 women contributors globally to the AI structure. And in UAE, we do our best to promote a new outlook of just looking at AI beyond just setting out strategies, but building quantitative models into monetizing AI and opening this platform for all users in UAE and outside UAE, building bridges into the greater good economy. Thank you so much. I really hope that you can.
Would you be able to share the presentation with us?
Yes, definitely, 100%. Thank you, Ms. Doha. All the best. All the best.
So we set the note on an optimist note, and then the network and the platforms, and then the artificial intelligence, and with all this complexity, we need security, and what we need is cybersecurity, and that's where Reema will enlighten us. Please.
Okay, so thank you, Dr. Doha. I will just start with some statistics. In fact, every 39 seconds, a cyber attack occurs somewhere in the world, and these attacks cost organization around $13 million. And the cumulative global value from risk from being destroyed is approximately $5.2 trillion in the period between 2019 and 2023. And in fact, cybersecurity is everyone's business. No one can say that it will never happen to him, or that it only happens to others. As you can see, the percentage of organization compromised by at least one successful attack in 2021 is almost growing dramatically, and is almost 87% of the organization. But why is this so alarming? First, because the losses caused by such cyber crimes has an estimated annual losses estimated to $6 trillion US, and the anticipated rise in rate of cybercrime by 2024 is estimated to be 76%. And the cost of a cybercrime to the global economy per minute will cost around $3 million. And this statistic will be even worse because of the pandemic. In fact, the restriction imposed by government in response to the COVID-19 pandemic has encouraged employees to work from home and even to stay at home. As a consequence, technology have become even more important in both our working and in our personal lives. So this was a boon for cyber criminals, as most threats have intensified due to the opportunities presented during this outbreak. So I have here some statistics from 2020. So we noticed around 67% increase in spear phishing attack between the end of February 2020. The FBI announced that the number of cybercrime report quadrupled since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. 2% of the daily mail spam are COVID-themed attacks. We have a growing of 3,000% of COVID-19 themed attack in March compared to the beginning of 2020. And there is thousands of COVID-19 scams and malware sites that are being created daily. So one of the reasons may be due to the fact that some small organizations and medium-sized businesses take a strategy, what we call bring your own device, which means that employees will use their personal devices, such as their tablets, phone, or laptops, to access the corporate information. And this working from home does not guarantee the same level of cybersecurity as an office environment. For example, as you may know, criminals have exploited the cybersecurity weaknesses in remote working last year, and it has been a series of cyber attacks on video conferences services between February 2020 and May 2020, and more than half a million people were affected by breaches in their personal data due to these video conferences using. Human error is also another problem, another concern. In fact, prior to the pandemic, human error was already a concern for cybersecurity. But when working from home, the problem is even greater because employees can be interrupted in their work by their family member or some visitors, and this will increase the problem of security. So what are the top 10 security and risk trends nowadays? As we all agree, the impact of remote work is it's not a surprise that it causes a major implication for cybersecurity. And not only that, but the world of remote work isn't going anywhere post-pandemic. So we need to start thinking about a long-term remote security strategy going forward. The second trend also is very known, which is ransomware. In fact, it is one of the most common threats to any organization's data security. And this threat will continue to increase and evolve. For example, as the cybersecurity venture estimates, business was victim of ransomware in 2021 every 11 seconds, or up for 14 seconds in 2019, and it is estimated to be every 2 seconds in 2031. So you can see the great increase of such attacks. The third trend is the increase of the use of multi-factor authentication. In fact, even if passwords remain a standard for cybersecurity best practices, more companies will adapt and have to adapt the multi-factor authentication as an additional defense against data breaches and malicious attacks, which involve using one or more separate factors in authorizing users to access their secure data by forcing them using more than one device. As Majda and Dr. Huda said, the rise of artificial intelligence is also will be used to build automated security systems that will replace human intervention, making it possible to analyze massive quantities of risk data at a much faster pace. This will be beneficial both for large companies dealing with a huge amount of data, and also for small or mid-sized companies whose security team will be under-resourced. But let me note that this increase is both ways. So criminal networks are taking advantage also of this artificial intelligence to automate their attacks. and they are turning to data poisoning and model stealing techniques too. The increase also of attack on cloud services, the necessity of the use of the cloud services will continue to grow as more businesses are using such process. So while it offers benefits such as scalability, efficiency, lower cost, etc., but companies need to take into consideration the security implications that come with the cloud and determine any vulnerabilities that exist in their current infrastructure. The next trend will be data privacy. In fact, data privacy cannot remain a single component of security program. It has to become a program at its own. So organizations should consider things like data privacy officers, record retention, destruction, role-based access control, encryption of data in transit, and network segmentation to assess where they can strengthen their data privacy. Also, while it's easier for us to believe that the cybersecurity threats come from external forces, organizations should not ignore the reality of increasing sophistication of threat actors within their company. So we have to adopt our proper tools and systems to detect them. 5G, as Majda said, also with millions and even billions of more connected devices, 5G will be possible for larger and more dangerous attacks. Maybe the most dangerous will be the denial of servers attack, so that this attack will likely to be more devastating, considering the higher number of devices to manage and considering also the elevated amount of bandwidth that will be used. The ninth trend is the one target multiple victim scenario, which has turned to supply chain attack, which became a lucrative business model for hackers, particularly when coupled with ransomware. So it will be the next trend to consider. And finally, I think the crime as a service, which is a business model too in the underground market, where illegal services are provided to help underground buyers conduct cyber crimes in an automated manner. Paradoxically, the ISC squared estimates that the gap between the currently employed cyber professional in 11 major economies in the world and the total number needed in the public and the private sector is estimated to be around 4 million experts. The world has 3 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs by the end of 2021, according to cybersecurity vendor. So let me recap. On the one hand, we have more and more sophisticated attacks. In the other hand, we have a lack of experts. So what can we do? The first option is to play the ostrich and to pretend that everything is okay. That's the first solution. The second option is to act by doing action and changing things. I don't know you, but personally, I will stand for the second option, especially that we have like a hidden asset. Guess what? Women. So are there women in cybersecurity? Let me say yes, but very few. In fact, a survey of over 19,000 security professionals have revealed a chronic shortage of women working in cybersecurity, with women forming just 5% of the Middle East workforce, for example. And this percentage is even worse when dealing with legal positions. And the worst is that we find women on the other side of the mirror as victims. In fact, there is a lot of cybercrimes that are targeting women, such as public shaming, intimidation, hate speech, trolling, which is a malicious behavior that is characterized by aggressive provocation, doxing, which involves uncovering some personal data, publicly cyberbullying, which are kind of cyber harassment, let's say. And unfortunately, girls are more likely than boys to be victim of such attack. As you can see, 1 in 5 women and 1 in 13 men have experienced stalking during their lifetime. So, and this statistics are confirmed for like teenager between 12 and 16, where 6% of boys reported being bullied online compared to 15% of girls. And the problem is that this cyberbullying is impacting, this alarming statistic is really impacting women and people. So as you can say, 41% of people who were cyberbullied developed social anxiety, they developed depression, and even has suicidal thoughts. And for women, the problem also is, the impact also is a feeling of powerlessness, in the ability to respond, not being able to sleep well, to lower the self-esteem or to lose self-confidence. So let me finish with a positive note. So what can we do? We have to be conscious that we all have a stake in cybersecurity, both individually and corporately. So you have to prioritize growing the cybersecurity workforce. You have to educate your staff to be aware, to increase the awareness of people concerning cybersecurity, and of course to focus on women, because it will be the, let's say, maybe the solution for this gap in cybersecurity experts. So thank you, and let's keep in touch.
Thank you, Dr. Reema. That was very informative, really. Let's see what the audience think about the cyber crimes issue against women. Let's pose the question. Jawad, would you please help us here? We wanted to ask a question about cyber crimes impact. What is, in your opinion, is the biggest threat for technology? I think that would be implementations. In the area, cybersecurity issues and threats, the availability of technology, qualified workforce, not clear vision for the future of technology for the Middle East. So I guess, Dr. Reema, the audience agrees with you on the importance of cybersecurity issues and threats on both national economy and women in technology, and amongst others. Thank you. Question on what we call monitor. Do you have? I'm curious to understand the experience from Tunisia. Do you have what we call مرصد الهجمات الإلكترونية that gives you 24/7 count on the number and the frequency of attacks or cybersecurity attacks in general?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we have in Tunisia such center, as you say, which is called a SOC. It's a national agency which is responsible for that. And we even, I think last year or the year before, we have a national cybersecurity strategy. So that was signed by the president, and yeah, we are trying to move forward. Yeah.
All right. To Mrs. Reema Diab, the futuristic. Mrs. Reema, please proceed.
Yes, hi everyone, and nice to meet you all. Actually, I'm working on AI mainly, and today I have my Najm, the little robot. It is an educational robot that we use it actually to enhance our skills for the kids in the school. Mainly, I will start with statistic that 85% from women, they will lose their jobs in the future because of AI. And this is really alarming us to know what is the best solution for women to enhance their skills more in the future jobs. So mainly what we are doing in Galaxy organization, the organization that I founded just to empower women and youth through technology, that we have found that there is a gap between the education system and the market needs, and how to fill these gaps with the future skills that needed by San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and the future world that it's coming now by default. So if we didn't have a step from now, we will be behind as a remote areas, unfortunately, or as people left behind the technology. Actually, we are using technology in social media and we use it in very different way, but we couldn't learn what is the main education system that we have to empower and to change our curriculum. We still having the traditional curriculum that in our region, at least in the Middle East and Jordan specifically, that we have using the traditional curriculum that doesn't teach the kids, and especially for the girls and women, the future jobs. That's what we have done in Galaxy, that we have empowering the women in technology, especially by developing the curriculum for the universities and for the schools. So mainly the future jobs now we are talking about, that there is mainly robotics and how we can find a robot by coding, teaching them coding, or teaching them how to make a robot from scratch, and how to measure the future jobs of the robots. Because if you see the Expo Dubai 2020, there is a lot of robots coming with the VIP people as a bodyguard or as fantastic thing. So I think there is something in the future that we have done for these robots, how to make a management for them, event management, how to make the design for them, how to make the everything for coding the robots, for example. And this is what we have done in Dubai for some schools, how to teach the kids on this. The other thing that we are doing in Galaxy to empower women, that Jordan has hosting the majority of refugees, especially Syrian. And these Syrian are living in the camps. And to be honest with you, there is a huge gap in the technology they are using in the camps. So we have partnered with a lot of our partners that believe in Galaxy mission. Let's say the World Bank, the FCA, the Finnish group. We worked with the United Nations for Women, and we provide new skills for women in the refugees camps, how to use the new technology to enhance their skills and how to make a sustainable income from the technology. Most of the women in the camps, they are using the handicraft and they preparing some traditional workout. So what we can done for them, that how to use the main platform as a digital marketing skills for them to market their stuff like the handicraft or anything she want to learn it. Another thing that we teach the ladies inside the camp how to code and how to link her to work as a freelancer with a freelance platform. And this is what we are done, especially it is a GIG or gig economy needs in the future, that you have to prepare these ladies or these women to work in the future by using the gig economy and by using the freelance platform, by developing her skills to be a freelance professional. Because most of the freelancers are junior actually, and they doesn't know how to use the freelance platform. So mainly how to make these women and to fill the gap between the education system, between the market needs, and between the partners who seeks to partner with you to prepare these women for the future jobs. Doha, you can, if you allow me, you know that Jordan has the highest unemployment rate for women, unfortunately. And we know that we have in parallel, that we have the most highest education woman. Yani, what is the problem if we have the highest education woman that coming out from our education system, and we have the highest unemployment rate for these women? So how we can manage these two things? I know that Jordan, it is not a good market to work at because the competition is very high, and it is very small niche market to work on it. And the needs in the Jordan market, it's not matched with the global market as working with the San Francisco or working out with the Gulf region. So how we build the skills for these women to make the unemployment rate for them to be the highest. And even with the World Economic, the World Economic Forum, they mentioned that we have the highest between youth. The unemployment rate in 2021, it was 50%. So this is an alarming to our youth as well, not for the women, to enhance their skills for the future jobs. So mainly now we have working to raising awareness with our ministry, Moody, it is Ministry of Digital Economy and Entrepreneurship, to work more to raise awareness about these kind of future jobs, future skills, how to make our curriculum aligned with the market needs, how to prepare these women and these youth, matching the needs with future jobs with the market in the global market, not in Jordan. So how to make another things that we have to build strategy with our investment ministry and our Moody ministry to make it more flexible, flexible regulation and flexible investment to enhance more and to encourage more investors to come to Jordan and open their branches in Jordan as a regional or headquarter in Jordan. So this is mainly what we are working out through this. And I'm proud to know that I was considered as the youngest CEO of Nokia and Alcatel before I opened my own organization, actually.
Amazing, Ms. Reema, for this insight. It's, let's see here, cybersecurity issues and threats again. Yeah. Reema, just linking you to Dr. Reema, so you develop curriculums, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you content providers in terms of you probably employ PhD holders or experts in their fields, and you produce content accordingly.
Actually, Galaxy organization, it is, actually Galaxy organization, it's we started as a training academy. And we have the accreditation from a highest ministry in Jordan, and another, we partnered with the UK and the US university. So we started to build our curriculum because, we don't have a lot of curriculum in AI, especially in IoT and blockchain. And we partner with this university to build their curriculum and to train the women in refugee camps and in Jordan country.
Do you produce all these services digitally? I mean, the access is digital through your portals from Galaxy?
Yes, we have two. We have two modules. The first module is online module, and the other module is interface things. And the other thing that we have to do it with people, because to encourage them to work more in Galaxy and to make more entertainment, that using the VR, the virtual reality glasses, is more important in the education system, because it's to make simulation between what they are studying and what they have done. So this is mainly make fun for kids for the education mainly. And actually we have do it mainly to develop our content and to sell this content to another schools or to other countries.
Again, linking you to Dr. Reema, do you have any syllabus curricular regarding ethical hacking, for example?
Yes, we have for ethical hacking, Because actually, Ms. Doha, that in global market, the women have the highest percentage of the abuse through the internet. So we have this done as ethical hacking, ABC, or the introduction to cybersecurity, to teach women how to make privacy for her platform or her privacy for her information or anything that's عشان هيك ما بتقدر تتعرض للابتزاز. So mainly our mainly we focus women to study them to teach them the cybersecurity introduction, just to make some privacy for her, and how to not anyone can abuse her through the internet.
Ms. Reema, I have a question from the audience. They are very curious about you. They say, how many employees you employ here in Jordan?
What is it?
They say, there's a question designated for you. They are very curious to know how many employees you employ, or your network of
okay, Galaxy. Okay, good. Actually, we have hiring this. He can make some MOM like minutes of meetings, and he can listening. So it's considered one of our employees.
Does he bring coffee to the table?
So this is mainly considered one of our employee and basic employee. And the other thing that we have actually 14 employees actually, and we are hiring more on freelance. We have our freelance platform called Galaxy AI Future. I can put it on the comments now, so they can access for it, and they can we can hire people through this platform as a freelance, and we can connect them with other partners as well who are seeking for a secretary or virtual assistant or developers or front-end or back-end developers. But if you allow me, I just will share just 2 minutes videos that will having...
Actually, I only have 4 minutes that I will be using wisely to spread the questions amongst the panelists. Jawad, do we have a last question from the audience? Yeah. Do you think it is the right time for a 5G upgrade? I think after what all we heard and listened to regarding needs and gadgets and solutions, everything needs now a strong platform. Yes, okay. Good to hear that. Back to Majda. Majda, you wanted to share a success story regarding the use of technology and strong infrastructure that is reliable and that is strong and that is connected. Can you share with us some of those stories?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started talking in my address about the Connect to Learn initiative, and I think it links well to what Reema just talked about, which is how to bridge the gap in terms of digital skills for young people, but for us it was addressed to kids from the age of 6 to 16. And this initiative actually brings to the school the connectivity, the digital tools like connected boards, like tablets, computers, but it also gives them access to a wide range of educational resources from across the world. And basically what we have managed to do as well is, I talked about the experience I've had personally in Tunisia, is also try to connect the schools that we worked with other schools from other continents, so that the classes can have a course all together. So beyond the learning experience from the resources, they can also have exchange with other kids from another part of the planet and learn from each other. And I think this was one of the highlights of this initiative, one of many of the education initiatives that we are putting focus on in Ericsson, with, of course, special focus on girls, because we know that girls are not served the way they should be in some of the remote areas in the world. So this was one of the areas. I think the second point, maybe 30 seconds, comes in the form of mobile money. We all know that many women are actually the CFOs of their families, and they manage many financial streams, income, expenses, savings, but yet they do it in a cash. And we see a tremendous potential of growth in this area, because mobile money gives them the privacy, the security, as well as the accessibility that they may not have with the traditional financial services. So these are the two areas that I wanted to talk about earlier, about how connectivity can help in women empowerment. And I think we've heard a lot today from Dr. Reema and from Dr. Hoda and Reema about how we could have this holistic approach to empower women through technology. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk.
Thank you very much. After this, we've concluded the 1 hour allowed to us. So thank you all for good listening. And after listening to all of you ladies in your fields, I'm positive, I'm optimistic about the future of Arab women in technology. Thank you all.
Thank you. It was a great pleasure. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye.